Imagine this, and I'm sure a lot of you can, who are also autistic. You know you're different from a young age. You know, you may not do things that the other kids do. You may have certain behaviors that make you stand out. You may have a lot of struggles in school. And as you get older, you know, you fight like hell to blend in. You get to be like everybody else, to not be looked down on or, thought of as weird, especially as a teenager. And you progress so much that nobody would believe it was you when you're 21, 22 years old, who knew you when you were a little kid, or when you were upper grade school, like fifth, sixth grade. And, you get an associate's degree in college. You're actually normal or typical enough to be in college. You get your degree, you work your ass off, you do everything that you can possibly do. And, you get a job, you're feeling good about things because, being an autistic person, it's hard to keep a job because, what can I say, we're wired differently. And people who are wired differently in some situations don't work out too well at a job because they expect you to do things their way. They expect you to do it quick, especially if you work fast food. And, like I said, you're happy that you have a job, that you're working, that, you're not a burden on your parents, that you're not, what do I say, dead weight. You don't feel like dead weight. And everything's going good for you. And you meet somebody you think that, is amazing. And every time you're with them, there's this illuminating light inside of you that, it's like a fire that never goes out. And you're really feeling for them. You're really, doing the whole honeymoon phase. And then you meet their parents. And keep in mind the fact that you've already told this person that you are autistic. Not a lot of people understand to the full extent what autism is, how it works, some of the things that you go through growing up. And you pretty much get looked at in a very judgmental way. And they're, especially mothers, let me tell you something, mothers are the worst when it comes to dating somebody and feeling like all heaven's against you every step you take. The worst thing about being an autistic person in a dating situation is working twice as hard to get any respect. I had to deal with this when I met somebody, told them I was autistic, and when their mom found out, it wasn't game over, but it was an uphill battle, and a battle that eventually I walked away from because I realized that if I stayed with this person, I'd be fighting my entire life, or however long it would last. What that person's mother didn't know is that every word they said, girlfriend told me. I pretty much heard that she didn't want the person that I was dating to be with somebody who couldn't do anything because I couldn't work on cars. Like I said, we're wired differently. And because of that difference, it was that much harder to be in a healthily functioning relationship with her. And I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't have resentment towards this mother. But this is something that a lot of autistic people deal with in a dating situation. And it's a shame that we're not seen for the triumph that we have achieved, that we're not seen for the things that we have accomplished when we've already had the odds against us. And when I was thinking about making this video, I wasn't necessarily sure if I was going to make it more informational towards people who might have a child, or, I guess grown kid, teenage kid, you know, somebody who's in college and, you know, dating somebody who's autistic, or send this as a message, all I can really say is be careful of the things that you say about somebody who is disabled. No, I don't like using that word, but that's what it is. And try to be more open. Try not to think of it as, you know, that person. I hate when that happens. Motorcycles always go by here, and I'm trying to do a video, and whatever. But what was I saying? Don't think of it so much as that person is not going to be able to take care of your kid. Think about all the things that they have done to get where they're at, because I guarantee you, if they're high functioning enough to date your son or daughter, trust me, that's already been one hell of a battle for them without you making it worse. To my fellow autistic people who date, you know, we have a real hard struggle in general, everyday life. Do not let your feelings for somebody make you miserable because of what you have to deal with in relation to that person or their parents or whatever. You know, I can remember another occasion meeting somebody, and, you know, we started going on a couple dates, and I met their parents. Were cool to my face, like the other person's mom. But behind my back, you know, her mom told her, you know, oh, well, he's just going to struggle all of his life. Bitch, you don't know the half of it, plain and simple. But, you know, those are just kind of things that I've gone through. And what these people don't realize is how much we do have to offer. You know, an autistic person has already battled to be typical, has already battled to not stick out and be looked down on because they stick out. You know, and I mean, we're dedicated. If you spend even the smallest amount of time with an autistic person, what you will realize is once they're determined about something, there's no stopping them. You know, and I think that really does apply also to relationships. I mean, it's kind of like the ride or die expression. You know, that autistic person's going to be your kid's ride or die. You know, I can remember with the first ex that I talked about, not gonna lie, I was in love with her. And if I knew that be able to hang out, you know, just waiting on her parents to leave so we could do whatever, you know, I can remember parking not very far from their house, you know, just making myself available if they needed me, you know, Johnny on the spot. Or I'd bring her lunch at work, like, you know, most boyfriends will do sometimes. And did everything I could to be a good boyfriend, to be typical. You know, and it's not necessarily, well, anymore I don't necessarily concern myself with being typical or not being typical. I'm just going to be me, and if somebody likes it, great. If they don't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You know, we only have one life to live. No sense focusing on the negative and negative people. You know, I guess like any other person in life. But dating is not an easy thing for autistic people. I can only speak for myself because, you know, not that I don't know other autistic people, but I'm speaking by experience. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess the main message in this video is be conscious of what the autistic person you're dating has gone through and is going through to try to make you happy, have a healthy, wonderful relationship with you. And yeah, I reckon that's all I got for now. I'll need some coffee to get a little bit fired up. I'm sure I'll make another video here soon. I know it's been like 8-9 months since I made another video, but I mean, sometimes it's hard to really think of the words, really articulate a point. Just condensing it down into a video. Next time I won't have to make notes. Notes are wonderful. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit on my porch and have me a puff, enjoy the summer weather we got now. But y'all take it easy now. Mad Dog out.